Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming. Hope you're doing well out there. Just a quick video, far quicker for you than it will be for me actually. Doing a little farming here in Hongik. Um, Going for the Yoshida wand. It's a level 26 rare wavemaster weapon, and that's about all I know about it. But, farming weapons is pretty fun way to go about just having a little downtime, and I decided to go for it here. This is actually my second attempt at it. I forgot to record my first. I was halfway through the dungeon by the time I realized I hadn't hit the button. So whoops on that one. We'll do a full run through here, and if you've ever seen any of these dungeons before, there's a few servers that have them, and Hongik, the crab server. Hongik is a translation of it. These are kind of notorious for them. They're just corridors of room after room of portals of the same monsters. But they tend to yield some really rare weapons in the game out of the statue room at the end. So today's run, we're just going to take a few runs and see if we can't just crack that Yoshida staff. As you can see, I'm running pure fire spells because the monster of choice for this dungeon is Grand Cold. It's going to keep throwing ice spells at me, and I'm going to keep throwing fire spells at it. If you hear any beeping in the background, I'll apologize now, but with the holiday coming up, we're doing some last minute baking. I say we're, I mean my wife. She's been handling pretty much all of it because I've been, sort of a schlub this December and just kind of burying myself in work and then napping when I get home. So thankfully she has taken up the mantle of getting all of the holiday baking done. She usually does the lion's share. This year certainly more than usual, and she has certainly been up to the task. Even got the little one involved. I came home and had a moment of actual cooperation from him, so bonus points there. Believe I've got something in the VAC cruise line where the little fireballs converge on a single target. That one's only costing me about 20 SP, so when I'm down to like 1 or 2 targets, I'll switch to that. Save on some SP from Vulcan, which is like 50 SP. It's the baseline one. Kinda like the way the summons look in this game. Pops up real nice and big, hits that large area of damage. Someone had pointed out that the summons in the game are the elemental gods of the world, at least the R1 world. Which is a neat little bit of lore if you didn't know it ahead of time there. Here we're rounding out the first floor. As we're transitioning to the second, I wanted to bring something up, a bit of a point of interest that Spooky had left on the Discord when I got home. Well, I saw it when I got home today. He had left it this morning. Apparently a few of the players in our little community got noticed on the brambling.net website. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description to it, but Brambling has kind of been a go-to reference site on the Discord for things like the events and everything. It's got a lot of fragment content. Hey, I leveled up there. Nice. Anyway, after this weekend running the One Sin event and everything, apparently they at Brambling, they went ahead and uploaded a page with some information. Some people got in contact with them, mentioned, hey, we're still playing the game, going strong, this is what we've been up to. So there's a few screenshots up there. You got some shots of Alkaline, who runs the NetSlum lobby server. You've got Bison in a screenshot, who's done some fantastic coding work. Certainly if you remember the Nesta Bow episode. All sorts of interesting things that they've managed to do with hidden rooms and rooms off the map and everything, and just generally tweaking stuff in general. Also had some shots of Snownomi. I believe they even provided a link for Snownomi's insane attempt at soloing the one sin. If you haven't checked that video out, check it out. One wavemaster versus the toughest monster in Fragment. Epic does not begin to describe it. I don't want to give spoilers on it, but it's definitely worth a look. It's definitely worth a watch, and if you're a fan of Dot Hack Sign, it will not diminish your opinion of Wavemasters in the least. Pick up a Cosmic Truth and a Meteor Strike there, as well as a Stone Call. One of the Snownomi pictures actually had the full party displayed at the bottom there with Snow and Midnight and Spooky's Gouda Night. I believe that was the party Spooky was in where they defeated the one sin. So Spooky has come to take to calling Gouda Night of the Azure Cheese, if I remember right, or Gouda of the Azure Cheese. Here we're just mopping up more grand colds. I have to be careful there if I don't take, my goal is to hit 3 on the first Vulcan and 3 on the second, because I know I'm getting 8 out of most of these. I can pretty well survive with my high hit point total if 2 of them cast on me. But if you got 3 of them floating about, it gets a bit dicey, and I don't want to risk leveling down, especially not now that I just got that level up. As you could see, I'm only getting 1 experience per off of these guys. This is the 3rd floor. This one's the important one. I'm going to get through this double portal room here, and you'll see what I'm talking about after. Some of these are really straightforward and only have 1 treasure to them. This is one of those choose your own adventure ones, where depending on the route you take through this 3rd floor here, you could actually farm for multiple items. I think it's actually got 3 or 4 different ones you could go for by the end of it. Pick up a Resurrect there and an Emperor's Soul. Raining Rocks to finish the room out, and here we go. You've got this little intersection room, and it says left for the boxed lunch item and right for a ceramic helm. I'm not interested in either of those paths, so I'm going to skip both of those and just go straight forward after grabbing these treasures. Sprite hands there and an earth staff. 1 more sprite hands before we go. Here we've got forward for the gold coin, left for Yoshida, and right for an ice bar, which is a trade item. And we're interested in Yoshida, so I'm going to go ahead and grab these treasure chests here, and then I'm going to take the left hand path before adventuring forward. Clearing this room means I should be in line to have a chance at a Yoshida. It doesn't guarantee the item, but it gives you a chance at that item. Had I not gone and cleared this room out, there would be no shot whatsoever. And I don't want to clear out the other paths because that's going to dilute my chances of getting it. So we're just going to go straight forward now as the directions entailed. 4th floor gives us a couple more symbols, which actually gave me a bit of pause because usually after the choose your own adventure you're in the clear. Turns out that's the case here too, as the next room's empty and just takes you down to the 5th floor. Pick up a virus core out of the crystal there. And then out of the chest we have the Sinner's Axe, the yellow candy, and the healing elixir. So that was a full run through of that. I'm going to go ahead Sprite Ocarina out. We'll take this moment to sort of pause here when we fade to black, and we'll just hit some notable points of the other runs to close out the video. So in the very next run here we have a room here on the 2nd floor. Knock those first 3 down with a Vulcan, and I only hit 2 on the 2nd. So I go for a third Vulcan, that only hits one, and I drain my SP, but fortunately there were a bunch of misses there, and I do have some health regen going in my buffs. Get through there, a really light treasure room though. I think the only thing I get out of this is that immature egg just sort of bopping about down there. Well, that's more cookies out of the oven, isn't it? Here's another room with some grand colds. If you can't hear that, my oven was going off there, in case you're wondering if I'm crazier than usual. It's the same amount of crazy, just sort of getting caught multitasking a bit here in the household. This room went fairly well. Again, I wasn't able to get everything grouped together, and I just finished them off with fire spells. What was interesting there is, for whatever reason, my controller didn't quite register all of the times I had pressed up, so I almost sprayed Ocarina out there. Do one more room here before pausing again and zipping forward a bit in the capture. Not that you guys don't deserve, all the .hack footage you could possibly want in life, but this was like 50 minutes of capture, and a lot of it's me throwing fire spells at a bunch of mages throwing ice spells at me here. Moving into the third floor here. Not a big jump that time, just sort of cutting past a couple of junk rooms, and if you needed footage of me reapplying a speed boost and a couple other buffs, I'm sure it was somewhere in this capture already. Here we're picking up a few of the risky treasures, if you will, the blue boxes of doom. Get an Emperor's Soul there, a Sprite Hands out of the second, and a Raining Rocks out of the chest that was there the whole time. Even if you don't get the item you're questing for out of these farming little dungeons, either the experience, the gold, or both will make it more than worth your while. Again, not something you want to do all day, every day, but if you have a little downtime, or you know there's an item you specifically want, just one of those things you gotta have. Tsukasa's Wand is a big one. I know Edge, Desert Retro on Discord, was hunting for Sora's blades for the longest time. It was like a little mini party when they uncovered it. I think they got it on one of Snow's streams, if I recall. All kind of treasure popping up in this room here. Makes you feel real good when you see 4 chests in the path you choose. The choose your own adventure books, it just seemed to be, choosing all the ways you could possibly die and then thumbing back and hoping nobody noticed you backing up on your decision there when you were reading. But these dungeons, getting rewarded for a decision like that, farming for the item you want and picking up a ton of sweet loot. The symbols in this dungeon on the 4th floor will always throw me off, and there I hesitated for a moment because I'm seriously, after running it at least 3 times by now, I'm like, wait, is there more? And we're going to pick up another Sinner's Axe there. Get an Artisan's Soul and a Divine Cross though, so not too bad. Okay, skipping ahead a bit once we sprite Ocarina out. Okay, so the second floor of run number 4 now. And this one I'm pointing out because this is the most buffed I think I was at any point throughout this little farming adventure I took. Got 9 different buffs up right now. Pretty much protected from everything but, yeah, it feels like I'm heading to a joke that would just be in poor taste in 2020, so I'm protected from everything from a, shy of a giant safe falling from the sky and hitting me. We'll go Looney Tunes with it, why not? Again, just another room of grand colds, and another great thing when you've got those elemental hits lined up is you could really get those extra badass points just hitting for way more damage than you should. Saw those 1792s, and that's not going to be too impressive, save for the fact that I got that for 20 SP. Good luck getting that kind of damage output out of much else. Elemental hits are pretty much the best thing you could get shy of a death touch attack, and these will hit far more common. There you saw an elemental hit out of Vulcan for 3856. And again, I'm not particularly tricked out for heavy damage in one particular element. I'm favoring fire, but that's mainly because it's a fire weapon equipped. Right now my main is a Rod of Pattern. I like using those sort of all-arounders that give me access to different elements spells. That way when I'm running normal fields, I'm not completely out of the equation. Here with the Fire Drake Bone, if I run into a bunch of fire monsters, kinda in some trouble. And even then against the Grand Colds, I'm taking a little bit of a risk if they hit me, because this has dropped my water element resistance to a dangerous level. I think I'm sitting at -6. So another thing to keep in mind, you may want to keep some backup equipment for when you're, spec'd out for a specific element. Maybe keep some accessories that could boost the element opposite and keep that weakness from being too big a problem. Gonna clear out this room here and then zip ahead. Grab myself a little bit of tea there. Felt the throat getting a little scratchy. And here we are in the statue room, where we once again pick up a Sinner's Axe and Artisan's Soul, and this time a yellow candy. Spoiler real quick, we do not get the Yoshida wand at any point throughout this. In fact, here's the treasure room from the very next run. You get a Sinner's Axe, an Artisan's Soul, and another yellow candy. And we'll go ahead and skip to our final run here. Ocarina out and fading now. And we'll pick this one up here on the 3rd floor, just before we get to the choose your own adventure part. Here we've got our fire element up, we've got our magic attack, defense, and accuracy up. Gotta feel as good as you can heading into this. About the only thing we're missing is health and skill point regeneration. Once again picking up a couple treasures in that room, and then we come to the first junction. The nice thing about these junction rooms is they sort of save as you're a bit of a breather. You only get one portal in each of those. So they're pretty easy to clear out, and they'll allow you to conserve resources a bit. One word of advice if you are going into farming: get your restorative items, your healing items, and your SP recovery items stocked as high as you will. I typically run 90 of each just in case I pull any out of a chest. That way they're not automatically discarded, but I'm sure you'll be fine with 99 because you're going to be blowing through them. Gonna absolutely chew through them, and every couple runs it doesn't hurt to go back to town just to sell off items and buy new. You'll find yourself racking up gold like crazy, so if you've been ever wanting to invest in those really potent healing items that seem prohibitively expensive, or perhaps you were saving up for something expensive in the guild shops or one of the root towns, running these farming areas may be that thing that gets you over the line. Here we're taking our jaunt down to the treasure room, picking up a Virus Core C, and our final chest of the day. Sinner's Axe, yellow candy, and Artisan's Soul. Like I said, no Yoshida, but plenty of fun adventuring, a lot of grand colds taken down, and look at that, we're just about halfway to level 48. Guys, thank you for watching the video. This has been a grumpy old guy gaming, and we'll catch you in the next one.